Jaws, that they feel that last year, although they won a lot of games, 14 games, the last few games that they won, they weren't that good. And this year, they somehow think the Chargers think that they're better. Yeah, don't you want to win games?
They don't care what you think or what I think or Mike thinks. It's what they believe. They believe they're a better football team. If you've got a coaching staff and the team going in and you believe you're better, you don't play better, even if you've lost.
Fourth down. Sapp again. Denied by Matt Wilhelm. And the San Diego defense continues its outstanding play tonight.
Join us this Thursday for a special holiday edition of Hockey Night in Canada on NASN. First up, we head to Tampa Bay to catch the Canadiens face off against the Lightning. Then, live from General Motors Place, Luongo and the Canucks feel the heat against Calgary. A special holiday edition of Hockey Night in Canada this Thursday only on NASN.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina?
To Pittsburgh?
Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37? And 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's dad's favorite?
Is this the year? Is this the year?
Этот год? Is this the year?
Is this the year?
The hard-hitting action of American football continues on NASN, the home of the NFL. It's the final week of the regular season, and playoff lives are on the line. This Sunday, NASN will bring you a live doubleheader of the key games. It's Smash Mouth football the way it ought to be. Live NFL action. Coverage begins with Sunday NFL Countdown. Live this Sunday on NASN.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC, official vehicle of the NFL and proud supporter of those who wanted more. T. Rowe Price, providing investment management excellence for over 70 years. Invest with confidence. Taco Bell, think outside the bun. And Vizio, America's #1 LCD HD TV. Find out more at Vizio.com.
Great place to bring down the curtain on the 38th season of Monday Night Football, our second here on ESPN. San Diego leading 23-3 with that goal line stand and taking over from their own 3. Again, Billy Volek in for the last couple of drives, replacing Philip Rivers. And the run from Michael Turner, shy of the 5. And here's a SportsCenter 30 at 30. Merry Christmas, Trey Wingo.
Thank you, Michael. Not so merry for Scott Skiles, fired as the Bulls head coach after a 9-16 season. No word on who the interim coach is going to be, but we should know by Wednesday when they play the San Antonio Spurs. Head coach Tom Coughlin of the Giants sidestepping questions today on whether or not the Giants will go all out and play all their starters as they play the Patriots and try and stop their run at a perfect season. SportsCenter at the game. Stay current on ESPN News. Merry Christmas, guys.
Thank you, Trey.
Thank you, Trey. Same to you, Trey.
You and the rest of the NFL Live, NFL Primetime crew. You guys do a great job all season and all the way through the playoffs as well. 2nd and 8. Turner for 2 and down to Suits.
Well, guys, you've been talking about throughout the night wanting to see emotion from Jay Cutler. Well, you've got it because nothing has gone his way tonight. He's getting beat up. It's not his fault, and it's come in spurts, but there is tremendous frustration. He came off the field the last time yelling at coaches, threw down his helmet, picked up his cap, and then walked as far away as he could toward the end of the bench just to collect himself and calm down. But you could just see it brewing all night long.
Well, he doesn't give us a lot when you sit and talk to him. It's just his personality, his type. But Brandon Marshall was very effusive last night. I know he's a leader. As a matter of fact, Cutler's the guy who's organizing himself and Brandon Marshall and the tight end Tony Scheffler to work out together in Atlanta this offseason. So there is that leadership there, although we may not see it the way we do from Philip Rivers. Sproles the carry for about 3, and the Chargers will punt it away at the 10-minute mark.
It seemed to me he's got every reason to be upset tonight. He's getting banged around. His offensive line isn't helping him at all.
Well, and here's a young quarterback that is carrying the burden of his football team. We think of the great Bronco teams. We think of that stretch running game, run the football, then the play action game, the bootlegs, the waggles to get outside the pocket. Just don't see that. The running game is just not there.
Well, you think of John Elway, and everybody has to be compared to John Elway, and he started probably about 20 games, you know, and he bears that burden all the time. Is he going to be the one who's as good as Elway? That's tough.
No,
Nobody's
very
as good
few
as
will be
Elway.
as good as Elway. You know, he's one of the best of all time.
When you talk about San Diego, good things in the playoffs, special teams. This guy's a great punter in Cyphers. 47-yard kick there, no return. Been no surrender for Cutler tonight.
NASN Trivia Timeout. What NFL team delivered the biggest come-from-behind victory in the history of the league? Stay tuned. The answer is coming up.
The greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here, you belong.
For Wilson NFL and GST footballs and much more, visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
Welcome back to NASN Trivia Timeout. Now, the answer. The Buffalo Bills staged the biggest NFL comeback as they overcame a 32-point deficit against the Houston Oilers in the 1992 AFC wildcard game.
Chargers are the champions of the AFC West. Pittsburgh champions of the AFC North, but the Chargers have a one-game advantage if they hold on to this win in the conference games tiebreaker, which is why they would be the 3 seed, Pittsburgh the 4, if the two teams have the same record. Pass from Brandon Marshall, incomplete. Quentin Jammer on the coverage. It'll be second down.
Here's Norv Turner. The pressure is on Norv Turner. He had a long time in Washington. I covered him for 7 years. He only made the playoffs once. He had a short time in Oakland. He walked into a plum job here. 14-2 last year. Team that a lot of people thought were favorites to win the Super Bowl. Got knocked out in their first game at home. Norv Turner needs to win the home playoff game here to justify bringing him in. And he's sitting in the best position he's ever sat in as a head coach in the league.
The 46, Javon Walker, the catch, a gain of 4.
They're going to go 5-0 now in their last 5 games. And Jaws, you think that it only matters if they believe in themselves. They've reasonably, if they're winning all the games at the end of the season, it's not, you know, it's not who you play, it's how you're playing.
And I believe they're starting to believe in Norv Turner. Norv's not a Marty Schottenheimer.
He's not an orator
on his sleeve.
Right,
he's going to give you. He's an organized guy. He loves to coach. That's what he does.
And
he
he's
has
had
an
great
outstanding
success with
football team.
offenses wherever he has gone. But it's a great job to walk into. I mean, look at all most guys who get head coaching jobs in this league take over bad teams. This year, 3 guys got terrific jobs. Wade Phillips came into Dallas, which was a good job. Mike Tomlin came into Pittsburgh, which was a good job. But nobody walked into as good a job as Norv Turner did, and that was surprising given the previous record.
But the barometer will be is what he does in the playoffs. Playing
January.
well right now. You know, you said it all night.
After Cutler's 3rd down incompletion, they go for it on 4th. Protected for the moment Cutler out of the pocket, has it knocked down by Luis Castillo. His ability to come in here in these passing situations gives the Chargers one more reason to believe about the postseason. He's fired up to be back on the field for the first time in a month and a half.
Hey, owners. You know, you can get all your American sports fix daily right here on NASN, your channel for North American sports. Join me and this merry band of journalists as we chew up, spit out all the sports news of the day.
Why do you stop freaking matches at noon?
Exclusively on NASN. Hort!
Cheerio, folks.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina?
To Pittsburgh?
Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37.
In 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's dad's favorite?
Is this the year? Is this the year?
Этот год? Is this the year?
Is this the year?
The hard-hitting action of American football continues on NASN, the home of the NFL. It's the final week of the regular season, and this will be the final game before the playoffs begin next week. This Sunday night, NASN will bring you live coverage of all the action. It's Smash Mouth football the way it ought to be. Live NFL action this Sunday night on NASN.
San Diego. And Michelle, not exactly holiday cheer in the air down there.
No, absolutely not. Grinches down here. Cutler failing to convert on 4th down. And look at Phillip Rivers starts jawing with him. You can see Phillip in the distance. Here you get a closer look with Matt Wilhelm, the linebacker, waving bye-bye. A couple guys actually pointing and talking. A lot of talking between both sides all night, but this was the nastiest I saw.
Rivers, I don't know if he's saying "atta baby" or what he was saying with Sean Phillips. I don't know. You never know, but that's bizarre to see. And even after this play, he had more pushing and shoving here. It's contentious, but I don't know, Jaws. That doesn't strike me as cool.
No, it's not cool, but we know this is an AFC West. I'm sorry, Tony, I said NFC West earlier. The AFC West battle. These teams do not like each other, and obviously there's going to be some bad blood for a long time between two terrific young quarterbacks, Jay Cutler and Phillip Rivers. That was nasty right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peyton Manning doesn't do that, does he?
That was nasty.
Tom Brady doesn't do that, does he?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Brett Favre?
Whew. That's going to make some storylines.
Bullock handing to Turner. And again, you see that. See, this is still going on here, back and forth.
Has Phillip
sideline to sideline
won enough games to be able to do this? If Peyton Manning and Brett Favre and Tom Brady don't do this, has Phillip Rivers won enough games to do it?
But also, not to get away from your question, but Champ Bailey was talking in our meeting last night, you know, how much he now dislikes Phillip Rivers. They used to be buds. They're not anymore.
Steel cage, baby.
Hey,
that's what's next.
That's what it's
Steel
all about.
cage.
That's football. This is not touch. This is...
Did you ever do that when you could just say bye, baby, to anybody in the NFC East?
Absolutely.
You did?
Yeah.
Can we have that on tape?
Probably not.
Bullock will be brought down. Won't be a sack. It'll be a half-yard gain. So Elvis Dumervil will not get credit for his 12th sack of the season.
Who did you do that with?
There are a lot of things I regret that I did when
you do that with
in the
Phil
heat of battle.
Did you call him out?
No, I didn't call him a baby. Like the least I read his, I did not. I had great respect for Phil and Joe and Danny White and Roger Staubach, guys I played against. But in the heat of battle, I mean, sometimes you lose it a bit.
Wow, Joss. Side of you we didn't know.
Well, my wife said there was Ron A and Ron B. And I was the nice, friendly guy that I'm with you and Mike. And
there's Type A and Type A. Cypress with the kick. Clint Martinez the fair catch. Just for the record, that was officially a sack for 0 yards. So Dumervil does get sacked 12th of the year.
Look,
Merry Christmas to all. And to all, good night.
Good night.
Oh, wow. Man, they're heating it up.
From the people who who brought you College Game Day and the worldwide leader in sports comes the biggest thing to hit college football in years, College Football Live. A new way to get your fix every weekday with breaking news, exclusive interviews, and packed full of previews and predictions. Get ahead of the game every weekday with College Football Live on NASN.
The greetings are different. The need to feel welcome is the same. You don't just stay here, you belong.
The hard-hitting action of American football continues on NASN, the home of the NFL. It's the final week of the regular season, and playoff lives are on the line. This Sunday, NASN will bring you a live doubleheader of the key games. It's Smash Mouth football the way it ought to be. Live NFL action. Coverage begins with Sunday NFL Countdown. Live this Sunday on NASN.
As dominant as the 51-14 win over Detroit last week, but a game that has seen some nastiness here with both sides continuing the conversation. It's a cumulative 64-6 beating that the Chargers have put on John Lynch and the Broncos. John Lynch had a lot of great days in this stadium as a Charger fan growing up at Torrey Pines High School, playing for the Buccaneers in the Super Bowl here. Cutler throws for Javon Walker, incomplete, and he got hit at the very end of the play by Jordan Beck. No penalty marker, but asking John Parry for a flag as he got hit at the very end of the play.
Yeah, and you'll see Cutler here get rid of the football, but Wilhelm on the blitz pushes him to the ground after he throws the football, and Jay gets up, and he's looking for the flag, not getting it.
What do you think Cutler did to engender this reaction from the San Diego players?
See, that's the thing you don't know. You don't know what's happened in the two games in this rivalry all the way through. So you can never just say that one thing you saw on tape is what happened. They got after Cutler again at the end of that play. It's complete to Javon Walker.
But it does seem personal, doesn't it?
This has been happening, if you watched each play, at the end of every play, there's been the extra push, the extra nudge. And Cutler continues the conversation with Sean Phillips.
See, and you look at the guys in the blue jersey, those are the Chargers. They're all smiles around their sideline. They went in comfortably in this game.
Well, they try to go quick to get the first down. You can even see on the back end of the pile, Giles Tucker trying to yank Cutler's leg. See that? Not pretty. One team frustrated, one team rubbing it in.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
For those of you just tuning in, just getting back from your Christmas Eve celebrations, checking out TV tonight, Cutler has struggled. The struggle is really because of an offensive line that has been manhandled by the Chargers tonight. Tomlinson did most of his work early, 19 carries, 107 yards, and a touchdown that put San Diego on top 10-0. They had 3 field goals, the Tomlinson touchdown in the first half. Took the opening drive of the 3rd quarter downfield. It was 23-0. The only way Denver has scored was on a 4-play, 2-yard field goal drive in the 3rd quarter. 3rd and 6. Nearly intercepted by Eric Weddle. Probably the safety of the future for the Chargers. Remember, they moved up, trading us 2, a 3, and a 5 to go get him on draft day. That Tomlinson touchdown, by the way, tonight, guys, 128. He passed Jim Brown and Walter Payton in one fell swoop last week. Wow. And only T.O., Chris Carter, Marshall Faulk, Marcus Allen, Emmitt Smith, and Jerry Rice ahead of him. Look at the seasons. Doing it in 7 seasons. Astonishing numbers.
He is a very special player.
Paul Ernster, another poor kick. He has struggled here tonight, and it goes out of bounds at about the 44-yard line.
Look at the company that LaDainian Tomlinson is with. Jim Brown is the greatest football player of all time. Everybody who's ever saw him play knows that. Sadly, not everybody in Jaws has seen him play because he retired about 35 or 40 years ago. Walter Payton comes up next. One of the most beloved players ever.
Yes.
Sweetness, everybody loved Walter Payton, loved to watch him run. You know, and LaDainian Tomlinson is in that sort of company, and yet nobody knows LaDainian Tomlinson in the way that they knew Jim Brown and Walter Payton.
Give him time.
Darren Sproles the carry. Good job to squeeze through the hole. It's just past midfield, gain of 7. Here's Michelle.
I talked to LaDainian, you guys, about passing Walter Payton and passing Jim Brown, and he said it was a little overwhelming. He said Walter Payton was the reason he wanted to be a football player in the first place. Since the time he was 5 years old, he said, I was attracted to his grace and style, both on and off the field. So when I passed him, I was passing my idol, and that was overwhelming. And Jim Brown, he said exactly what you guys did. He's the man, the best ever. That was an incredible feeling.
He's been able to reach out in some ways in conversations with Brown. And when he won the Walter Payton Award, winning it with Drew Brees last year, visited with Walter Payton's widow, Connie, and his 2 children. There are the most touchdowns per game in the history of the league for guys who played 100 games in LT. And when you look at how small the number is, 1 point something, to be a 10th ahead is significant. And Jim Brown, Sean Alexander, Don Hudson, and Priest Holmes. Now, we know offense has evolved in this era of football, but so many of the passing numbers have become inflated, and that's made it even harder in some ways to amass all-time great rushing numbers because of the way that people throw the ball now. As Volek's pass is incomplete, it's headed for Kasim Osgood. And it gives you even more reason to pause and appreciate what Tomlinson has done. And Tony, I understand your point, playing out here in San Diego, not winning a playoff game, but we've seen him on 60 Minutes this year. We've seen him in more commercials and some really good and fun commercials. I think last year's 31 touchdown season really brought LaDainian Tomlinson to the forefront more.
I'm just, and I think you would agree, if he played in a place like Chicago or New York, you know, he would be much more of a household name at this point.
It's actually, in some ways, nice to have a great player who's also terrific in the community, who's not overexposed in this day and age, you know? Glenn Martinez, fair catch of the Cyphers, punt at the 12.
But you look, for example, Reggie Bush comes into the league in a much higher profile circumstance, right, than LaDainian Tomlinson has even now after 7 years. Some of that is marketing, I'm sure, going to USC and being drafted by New Orleans and such a big hubbub about that. But, you know, LaDainian Tomlinson is someone who it seems is deserving of the attention and the praise.
You're talking about celebrity.
Yes,
I'm
right.
going to talk about
Football.
Performance.
Right,
you know,
right.
Yeah, very few
but I think
guys
they go hand in hand.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with that, but you guys, I look at the guy as a football player. I don't think there's anybody better.
No, he's great.
Maybe not everyone knows about him around the country. That's celebrity.
Well, they know. They know. They know. Wait, who was the top pick in everybody's fantasy draft? Larry Johnson or LT, right? Sure. First down catch to Mustard, a gain of 10, and the Broncos with, let's see, 3:44 to go. Trying to find their way to get 1 touchdown against the Chargers this year. Rare you see a Mike Shanahan team go up against a division opponent and come up with no touchdowns.
That's amazing.
In 2 games.
Amazing.
Really,
you know, Mike Shanahan, through the years, I thought is one of the best designers of offense, can manufacture points. Hasn't got a touchdown against the Chargers in 2 games.
To that point, Denver's never had a division opponent, as the ball's put on the ground, never had a division opponent where they didn't score a touchdown against them in that season. Here's Susan.
Well, once the Broncos were eliminated from playoff contention, then the big story became, will this be it for John Lynch? He insists he is not thinking about it right now. In fact, the subject is banned at his house, although his wife Linda has been so supportive, and she's a great athlete herself, so she certainly understands and wouldn't want him to retire prematurely because she knows he'd be miserable. But he did explain that he has a clear-cut criteria. He's got to be playing at a high level. He has to have passion. He's got to be healthy, and he admitted he is not a good role player. He gets angry when he has to come off the field, so that could certainly play into it.
Pass to Brandon Marshall is complete, Suze, and if Marshall gets a first down, to the 35. It was Lynch who spoke to Jay Cutler about needing to step up and become more of a leader as this season went on. John Lynch's leadership on the field, the Pro Bowler, really became in that Tampa 2 defense that has become the vogue around the league. Such a defining safety, part of the Buccaneers team that won the Super Bowl here, 20 minutes from Falcon Field at Torrey Pines High School, where he grew up playing, where he was a quarterback, of course. And there you see his Bronco story, 2004 through 2007. You know, he might end up in Canton in the Hall of Fame.
No, he will end up in Canton.
He's already in Cooperstown in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He threw the first pitch for the Florida Marlins organization. He was a great baseball player. And the cap from that is in Cooperstown. So they may do the Cooperstown-Canton.
So we got to get him to Springfield, too, to find out what he can do with a basketball.
2-minute warning in San Diego.
Hey owners, you know you can get all your American sports fix daily right here on NASN, your channel for North American sports. Join me and this merry band of journalists as we chew up, spit out all the sports of the day.
Why do you stop freaking matches at noon?
Exclusively on NASN. Hort!
Cheerio, Flo.
Is this the year the Cup comes to Buffalo?
To Carolina?
To Pittsburgh?
Is this the year someone scores 50 and 38?
And 37.
In 36? Is this the year someone scores 200 points?
Is this the year kids start taping their sticks like Stahl?
Is this the year someone scores 93?
Is this the year a forward becomes unstoppable?
Is this the year a goalie stops everything?
Is this the year we finally figure out who's dad's favorite?
Is this the year? Is this the year?
Этот год? Is this the year?
Is this the year?
The hard-hitting action of American football continues on NASN, the home of the NFL. It's the final week of the regular season, and this will be the final game before the playoffs begin next week. This Sunday night, NASN will bring you live coverage of all the action. It's Smash Mouth football the way it ought to be. Live NFL action this Sunday night on NASN.
We're all over that, but even without it, we got a pretty good sports center.
Yeah, but I'm glad we do have the game.
Yeah.
If Kobe and LeBron, you think they have a good job? Well, they've got to work tomorrow. We'll hear from both of them. But first, back to Mike Tirico, who's always at the Holiday Bowl. Mike?
Yeah, but I'll be working with LeBron tomorrow at the Cavs game. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, guys, and everyone back in the studio. A reminder that ABC doubleheader. And then right after that, bowl week kicks in here on ESPN. Bowl games throughout the week. Some terrific games leading up to the Rose Bowl game in Pasadena on New Year's Day on ABC. Intercepted for the Chargers, Quentin Jammer, a guy who has trouble hanging on to the ball during all of his days at Texas or with the Chargers, comes up with the INT. His first pick of the year will bring business to a close here in San Diego. So the Chargers will get the win and move to 10-5 on the year.
Quentin Jammer, really good interception because he normally has horrible hands.
Cutler just walked off the field, walked all the way back to the bench alone and sat down.
Well, what else are you going to do? Been one of those nights, been one of those years for the Denver Broncos.
So the 10-5 Chargers will get the 3 seed if they win at Oakland on Sunday. Pittsburgh awaiting, and the difference between the 3 and the 6 is you play, if you're the 3, Tennessee or Cleveland. And remember, Tennessee gave San Diego a heck of a game in Nashville. As you see, their interceptions now,
wow,
the most in 22 seasons. And the other part of getting the 3 seed is you would avoid New England until the championship game, but I don't see many people getting in line to play Peyton Manning and the Colts either.
Tony, you think the Patriots going to go undefeated since you started this back in week 3?
Before you do that, GMC Monday Night Football post-game coming up. You see the stories there.
Yes, I think they will, John.
I think you said that back in April, did you not?
I did. When they got the receivers, I said they'd go 16-0 and 19-0.
You also said the Dolphins would not win a game, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. You were wrong on that one. They won one.
Hey, guys, while we have a second, this will be the last snap. A thank you to Jay Rothman, our producer, Chip Dean, our director, and all the women and men of our Monday Night Football crew. You've seen their pictures throughout the day here, but they are our family away from our true families, and they are special people who make this an absolute treat to do. And our honor to carry on the greatest tradition in American television sports, Monday Night Football, as we're bringing the curtain down on the 38th season of this great series.
So Norv Turner smiling. He's happy. He's won 5 in a row. He's going to get a home game in the playoffs, right, Charles?
And he's got to win one.
If he wins that home game in the playoff, his entire reputation is elevated as a head coach. He's a nice man. I hate to say that because you know that I'm Dr.
Nice
Doom,
man.
but he is a nice man.
Guys, Morgan Freeman's going to star in the movie The Bucket List, coming to theaters soon. He's going to help take us off the air with a wrap-up of our season. But thank you, guys. It's been an absolute treat throughout these 20 games on Monday Night Football 2007. Chargers moved to 10-5, Broncos 6-9. And on behalf of Susie Colbert, Michelle Tafoya, Jaws, Tony, our entire crew, Mike Tirico, thank you for watching this presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. We leave you tonight with a look back at some of the memorable moments from this 2007 season on Monday Night Football. See you for season 39 in September.
This Christmas Eve, 1,000 football fans made their own Christmas list. A list of the greatest gifts they've received from this game this year. It included the spectacular plays and the players who always made a spectacle. The rookie sensation who not only left his mark, but did so in a way that reminded us of legends past. But the list also had moments.
Deflected in the air and caught for the touchdown by Chris Kelsey.
Moments that remind us why we watch, and that in this game, everything can change in a heartbeat.
This kick is online again. It is good, and the Cowboys stun the Bills 25-24.
Like an overtime victory led by an aging quarterback in the middle of his season for the ages.
It is pulled in by Greg Jennings. The Packers win in overtime. Unbelievable.
Then there was the team marching towards perfection, almost stopped in their tracks on a night fueled by emotion.
5 options for Brady. The pump, the throw. It is caught for the touchdown by Gaffney. And New England leads.
But the one thing that fans all over still wish for, and still remains at the top of their list, we've yet to see, because that simply is for their team to win the whole damn thing.
Thank you, Jeremy. I'm John Saunders, and these are the sports reporters.
I'm Bob Ryan of the Boston Globe and Boston College, class of '68. Why couldn't Florida State have had their internet exams the week before they played BC?
I'm Mike Lupick of the New York Daily News. In the spirit of the holidays, let me put it this way. If you believe that all those ball players were only using human growth hormone to heal faster, then you not only believe reindeer can fly, you believe pigs can too.
I'm Bill Rhoden of the New York Times. Look for an emotional day in Buffalo, where Kevin Everett is expected to walk out onto the field, his first appearance since the opening game of the season. This is a great day for the NFL and a miraculous day for Everett.
Cowboy up. After struggling the last 2 weeks, Dallas got back on track last night and maintained the inside track for home field advantage in the playoffs. But a Cowboy down. The Cowboys' 2013 victory over Carolina may have damaged their Super Bowl hopes. Terrell Owens sprained his left ankle in the second quarter and did not return.
The Sports Reporters from the ESPN Zone in Times Square in New York City.
Good morning, Merry Christmas, season's greetings, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Reporters. Gentlemen, last week Tony Romo injured his thumb. Last night, Terrell Owens injured his ankle. Now, Bob, suddenly the Cowboys look vulnerable. Are they still the team to beat in the NFC?
I'm not bailing. No, I'm not bailing on it. Yeah, vulnerable. They could lose. They were never invincible to start with, but I think they righted the ship a little bit last night if you could remove the Terrell Owens factor. In other words, I like the way they won that game. I still think they're in the driver's seat. I think they'll beat the Redskins, and I think they'll keep their home field.
They've been the best team in that conference all year. I do not believe they are a lock to win it anymore. I do not believe they're a lock to go to the Super Bowl anymore. And they better hope that the chips don't fall in a way that they have to play the NFC Championship game in Lambeau Field, which is now a distinct possibility.
Yeah, and I was going to say that's looking more and more and more likely. Number one, I think they're going to lose that game in Washington. I mean, that is a hard,
it's a hard game.
I mean, there's been times when Washington won one game and they beat a Dallas team that was like 15-1. So I'm not really locked in on them. The only great thing about Dallas is that they're in the NFC. That's the only thing, but they're not a lock.
Well, what's interesting about watching the Cowboys play last night is you watch the weapons that they have on offense. And you think they should run up and down the field all night long. Now, they scored 20 points last night. The Owens thing is a huge issue because it's not just an ankle sprain. He rolls his ankle, after he catches the ball, and a high ankle sprain is trouble any time of the year, but particularly at this time of the year when everything gets shorter. And I know that Romo threw for 200 and whatever yards last night. He still doesn't look like he's putting it where he's aiming it. They got issues now, and it'll be interesting to see their one more game and the two more games in the Packers because, let's face it, the Packers are the mystery guest of the pro football season, even with a 12-2 record, because there's clearly some magic about them, and we got to find out from now until the end of the regular